Been fighting with these stupid fucking hinges for hours. They bent and twisted and worn. I'm gonna dump them. Yes, I've been sitting in my thinking chair here for quite a while, and I have a plan. The things I have to do.
He's lost it. What on earth is he doing? Definitely a Looney Tune.
About 15
Twitch, twitch, cuckoo.
and 35. About 140.
And he's got the cheek to call a car crackpot.
Okay.
When he's the only crackpot around here.
Yes, I'm getting too old for this kind of shit. So here's the plan, eh? I'm going to turn this into a one-piece nose. All this front bodywork is going to be connected, and then it's going to tilt forward. So I'm going to cut it here somewhere, roughly where that line is. This stays, and all of this will tilt forward. Whole one-piece nose, when it's open, engine and everything is exposed. I don't know, I haven't seen that anywhere. I'm sure someone must have done it. Nothing is new, everything has been invented. But I'm going to do that. Let's see how it works out. It's got a special thinking chair, this one. Let me show you. Look at that. You can even sit and think while you're really busy. You just need a bedpan. Okay, I've checked that all my body panels line up. I've made my marks. So now I'm gonna carry on and take the whole thing apart again. Right, let's cut the front ends off of these frame rails. There you go. Well, I guess if all else fails, I can always weld it back together. Right, so the position of this line where I cut was essentially determined by two things. First of all, it had to be behind this hole. That front cradle that ties everything together, holds the mudguards, the headlights, etc., sits there. So when I want that to tilt, obviously it needs to go with. The other reason was why it's here. There's Mr. Ford made a sort of a bubble here, so it's not flat, and the flat position only starts here. So I thought working here in the flat part would just make my life a lot easier. I slanted the line forward for two reasons. First of all, this distance here is shorter if I slant the line forward. This is going to hinge down, so I want to make sure it doesn't catch the ground. Remember, the bumper might still get added, etc., so I need that space. And the other reason why I want to slant it backwards, it kind of provides a landing, if I can say it like that, so that when you close it, it sort of locates. I could even weld a little plate on here if need be. And then I'd like to thank Mr. Ford for providing this convenient hole, because it gives me a spot through which I can put my clamp to clamp that plate in place to locate everything temporarily. I know it's hard to see. I'll come closer just now, but this bar here just lines up these two bushes that I made, because obviously if they're not lined up, it won't hinge nicely. So I've just put that in to line it up. Now I can tack it, and then I can take the bar out. My bush here is currently just tacked on the outside, so it can move a little bit. And now the bar that I've put in there, it can rotate, lines it up with the bush on the other side, make sure it's all nice for when it's hinging. I'm going to weld this bush to this part, and then I'm going to put those other plates, brackets, onto the main frame. Here's my bush just tack welded to the front section. So those other two plates or brackets I made will go like this, and then this will be welded to the back section so that the front can now hinge around that point. Okay, so here's a close-up of my fabrication. You can see these plates with the bolt through there. And then when it tilts, that's what it looks like. Yeah, I suppose it's a little over-engineered. You can probably hang the whole truck off of one of these brackets here. This material I had on hand, it doesn't need to be this thick. I had this here, so I used it. Could be thinner. Definitely not going to go anywhere. But yeah, I'm pretty chuffed. It works well. Well, that's not a view you see often, eh? One by Ford with a droopy bumper. But of course it can go back to normal. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, if you want to see the follow-up on this next step, if you subscribe and hit the little bell button, you'll get a notification of that video. I'll see you guys then. Have a good one.